Shuji here. It's been a while. I haven't been playing Cosmo. Honestly, Cosmo's kind of died out in like the last 6 months or so. I think it's just like they've been going downhill since the new support with Dark Planet and whatever. And I'm part of this Facebook Cosmo group, and I just like noticed they're like just like no more deck lists anymore, and I'm just wondering why. I mean, I had kind of taken a break from Cosmos, and I was just questioning what just happened. And honestly, Monarchs, BA, pretty much every consistent deck has just kind of killed Cosmo competitively. Cosmos have had really low, very mediocre win rates in big tournaments. The deck is very vulnerable. Consistency is a huge problem. I kept trying to make the deck work. I tried Fire King Island. I tried Demise. All the builds are garbage. They all lost to Monarchs. They did not win versus Monarchs. I don't care. I know there's a lot of players that want to fanboy the Fire King Island builds and whatnot. But I'll be real with you. The build is garbage. They just get lucky, and or if they're playing Demise, they get lucky going first and drawing no monsters from the Demise and just all back row. So basically, consistency was a huge problem with this deck, and so for the last 3-4 weeks, last month, I've been getting my ass kicked trying to make this deck work. I've basically recently tried every build. I want to say I had immediate success with the Kaiju Cosmo variant. My friend actually borrowed it from me originally about a month ago, and he taught with it at a pretty big locals in Maryland called Dream Wizards. His first time ever playing Cosmo. I was very impressed how he played. Then I played it, and I noticed I still had consistency problems with the deck. It's really nice when you go off, but it's really bad when you draw multiple Kaijus in hand. So I needed to find a way to fix it. And so I tried various builds. I tried builds without hand traps, ever since Blue Eyes entered the scene, I just could not beat it anymore. You just cannot beat Blue Eyes with this deck. Like, you just cannot do it. They loop Spirit Dragons, and they just banish your win condition, long-term win condition, which is Cosmo Town. They'll banish your back row. They'll if they draw Twin Twister, basically every deck seems to just main that now. The top decks like BA and Monarch, and your back row is basically it's just always dead, and you just can't protect yourself. So I thought I would try a build without too much back row, etc. And but last Thursday everything changed. I actually went undefeated at my current locals. It's hands down the best locals we have in Virginia. I played at the Island Games. Honestly, I was really proud of my build. It actually really beat Blue Eyes in every grindy game. I completely, utterly destroyed Blue Eyes in the grindy matchup. And today, on Sunday, a place close to Richmond, where a really good player I respect, Tyree Tinsley, also happens to play. We participated at the event. My friend Alex Rojas, amazing, one of the best players I know. We all participated in this tournament and actually ended up winning. So I am so happy with this current deck list right now. It's very consistent. It's giving me a lot of tech choices versus the current meta decks. It seems like the Monarchs have kind of died down a little. So yeah, without further ado, I'll introduce you guys to the deck list real fast. So I'm doing 3 tin can. I need this for consistency, and it combos with hold on, and I'll go ahead and just show you guys my entire deck list, and then come back and explain why I have the ratio set at what I have. 1 Strawman, 1 Farm Girl, 2 Cosmo Sword Troopers, 1 Cosmo Dark Lady, 3 Slip Riders, 1 Forerunner, 3 Dark Destroyers, 1 Dark Eclipser, 3 Maxi. That's it for monsters. I'll go into spells. For spells, I have 3 Cosmo Town, 2 E-Telly, 1 Terraforming, 2 Allures, Pot of Desire, Special Schedule, and Soul Charge. For the traps, I'm running 3 Cosmojo, 3 calls, 2 breakthroughs, 2 solemn strikes, 1 warning. So that's the main deck. The main deck is 41 cards. and I'll go through the extra deck real fast. My beautiful tokens. Cyber Dragon Nova. These are the only relevant cards. Cyber Dragon Nova, Infinity. These are very niche against, like, if you need out Beatrice or something. Grand Pulse, Break Sword, Volcasaur, Constellar Pleiades, Artifact Durandal, Tiras, Lancelot, Galaxy Tachyon, yeah, Tachyon, number 107, Tachyon Dragon, Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Yeah, I have no idea what their names are. I just overlay them, and Barbroid. Side deck. The side deck is very important. It's one of the main reasons why I'm actually winning most of my matches. Very key. I'll go in full detail explaining them. 3 Twin Twisters, 3 Magical Spring, absolute savage of a card, best card right now in this format. 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Allied Justice, Cycle Reader, 3 Monarch Stormforth, and get ready for probably one of the best cards I think in the coming format. Vanity's Fiend. So 15 card side, and honorable mentions, 3rd Cycle Reader, Galaxy Cyclone, or Mystical Rep Panel. I'll go more into detail as opposed to why you guys can include them and stuff. So I want to go ahead and explain to you guys the ratios for the monsters and what it is I'm doing. I kind of noticed I need Maxi. I really need it to play against BA. This deck just it's not consistent enough to win against BA. If BA just goes first, advances the game state to a point where I can't punish them, or if I'm playing against Pendulums and they set up with extra deck monsters and or Monarchs, even Monarchs, like to some extent, I need Maxi. Maxi right now is one of the only reasons I'm winning, and I 100% include this to fight Blue Eyes. I actually don't care about BA. You actually have a good matchup versus BA. It's not that big a deal, but you still don't want them going off. But Blue Eyes is the reason why I did this. I don't want them to needlessly dump everything from their hand, resolve the eggs during the end phase, loop Spirit Dragons during the same turn, make a Spirit of White, just basically develop this stupid board. As you know, they have monsters actually bigger than Kozmo monsters, and tougher to crack than Cosmos, behind the Return of Dragon Lords. 3 Cosmo Dark Destroyer, you're gonna run this, card's amazing. It synergizes along with Special Schedule. Cosmo Dark Eclipser. So I added this because I actually got really sick of losing random decks. I think this is actually going to help me, and one of the main reasons why I'm very happy adding this, and it's worked out every time so far, is because it's a target for Special Schedule. Schedule can special summon this from the graveyard and face up defense position because the 3000 attack monster. I'm actually not a fan, not so much of a fan right now of only the 3 Call Bahanids, because that's not enough and you don't see enough against the worst matchup of the deck, which is Monarchs. So until they go away, I'm gonna try to synergize as much as I can with Special Schedules and Soul Charges against Monarchs. 1 Forerunner, I actually need this card to float down into. That's the only reason. It's only there to float down into from Dark Destroyers. I actually even rarely search into it with Tin Can. I hated this card. Absolutely hated Cosmo Slip Rider. I lost every game where I pitched everything except for this card. It lost me every game versus the Blue Eyes deck. Every game I got it versus BA and Blue Eyes, I lost. I did not want it in my hand. And often I wouldn't even get Call the Honids. And Fan Knight BA, often they would just Twin Twister my Call the Honids. A good Fan Knight player, shout out to Colin Reardon, etc. They would wait. Froggy, Stephen Logan, like they would always wait for your Call the Honids and chain Twin Twisters and blow you out, to be honest. And just seeing this card in my hand was a huge crutch, but as of today, I've had immense respect for this card. Every time I've been able to destroy my Cosmo Towns for consistency, and I've actually been going into rank 5 plays like crazy with this card. And I'm really able to do that because with essentially the Monster Reborn spells, faster spells than Oasis of Dragon Souls, etc., I'm able to put pressure on my opponent with the big ships and just use this as a more utility card. Kozmo Dark Witch. This card's amazing. I'm including more and more dark targets. One of the reasons why I have Eclipsers, one of the reasons why I have Kozmo Dark Lady, is so it's a target for lure. I need to see cards in my hand. This deck has the biggest problem going first, etc., with like very little card draw. You often don't even get to see the last 20 cards of your deck on an average game. So, two Cosmos Sword Troopers, card's amazing. Card is amazing, actually. It's always a target, most likely, for a lure. It also gets back the Dark Lady, also gets back like little pilots. It's helped me out, pretty much. It's actually even outed. It's a main deck out to Floodgates, even. One Cosmo Starman, I absolutely love this card. This is like literally legit the best pilot of the deck, but he's just a little slow, and you can combo him later in the game. But when you do, you often do win. I often do go into rank 5 plays with the Slip Riders and this guy, or, you know, bring out the big ships for a lot of plays. Three Cosmo Tin Can. I always need a consistent way to have a big ship in hand. This card is still it's OTKing. Surprisingly, with my deck right now, it's actually OTKing. This card's legit. I'm not cutting it ever again. I think this card's amazing. Helped me out so far every time. And on to the spell card choices. So Special Schedule. I actually bought this card right as the Australian, the very first time it showed up in a deck profile. Shout outs to the unnamed player who topped the Sydney Regional. He did the Curry Bandit build with 3 of this, or 2 of this, or something, and 3 Eclipsers, blah blah blah. I think like this card, if I had it earlier, the Monarch matchup would have never been a problem for me. I need a faster card than Oasis of Dragon Souls. I need some sort of way to put pressure on my opponents by targeting a Dark Destroyer Eclipser or something and Cosmo Joeing it. Either way, sometimes like there's just like you just special summon a Dark Destroyer off of this and you immediately get its effect off during your turn. It's basically a Monster Reborn, but except it special summons it in face-up defense mode. So it targets one 3,000 attack or 3,000 attack or higher machine type monster, and special summon the target in face-up defense mode. It's faster. I needed something faster. Pot of Desires. This is actually gonna go up to 3. I have 2 coming in the mail. I don't care. This is never being cut out of Cosmo. You 100% need this because you need to see the rest of your deck. This deck is so fragile because how you don't get to see the cards. You know, you need to see additional cards in your deck. I've been happy every time I've drawn it. I have actually stacked my opponent. I've banished every useless card in my deck, and the 2 cards have always helped me. Always. This is definitely going up to 3 as soon as the other 2 come in the mail. Soul Charge. I was actually doing 2 Special Schedule, but I've actually kind of noticed that it was like kind of underwhelming because it special summons your big ship in face-up defense position. I'm actually just doing Soul Charge now. I completely sacked the Blue Eyes player the turn I did this. I just made Infinity, brought back every big ship. Yeah, this card is insane. I think I'm a little over-prepared for the Monarch matchup, but that's your worst matchup. A lot of good players will play the Monarch match, so... one Terraforming. Without seeing Cosmotown, the deck just loses. You actually neg every time your ships die. If you don't see Cosmotown, you're gonna lose the game. I've gone games where I've never seen Cosmotown and I'm losing the game. I need this card. I need another way to go into Cosmotown. So often lost a game versus BA players where I haven't seen a Cosmotown at all. And yeah, terraforming is amazing. To Allure, I need to see the rest of my deck. I need to go into it. I need to dig deep. So I got sufficient dark targets. A lot of my deck is dark heavy now with Eclipsers, Dark Ladies, Sword Troopers, Dark Destroyers naturally. Yeah, before I even had Wicked Witch in it, I kind of realized I don't need the Wicked Witch as an additional dark target. Sword Trooper is just better. So 2 Allures, 2 E-Telly, 3 Cosmotown. For the traps, yeah, you should always run 3 Cosmo Joe. I had kind of not seen this card at all for a while I was playing this deck. I often lost without seeing this card ever. When I do resolve this card, it's off in game. I'll be real, this card is insane. 3 calls, you still need calls, because you're still running Tin Can. This is a way to recycle back your big ships when they get outed, etc., etc. Oftentimes, like, your graveyard's like just your win condition with big ships in them. Two breakthroughs. This is actually to you need protection. This deck actually needs protection to live. I put this in as a way to fight monarchs as well as just generic garbage. Breakthrough is just amazing right now. Amazing. You can do to ether during your turn if it's in the graveyard. This card's amazing versus the monarch matchup. So yeah. 2 strikes, 1 warning. Still need protection for your big ships. You can't just summon big ships and think you're actually winning. Your opponents will get over them. Blue Eyes will get over big ships. Everything will get over big ships. So yeah, you need some sort of protection for them. So for the extra deck, going to the extra deck real fast. Right now, somebody's borrowing a few of my cards, like Gaia Charger. So I'm just running number 20 and this in case it comes up for Beatrice. You never know. I've actually shuffled back a face down defense position monster when I was actually running Book of Eclipse, when I was practicing with it, so whatever. The extra deck is kind of irrelevant. The only relevant cards are these two. I still go into these often, and you still want like Pleiades and this. These are basically like the main relevant cards of the deck with Slip Rider and Gaia Charger, obviously. Today it came up. I could have won my game today. So yeah, definitely get my Gaia Charger back. This guy, I'm adding this because actually the Felgrand, the structure deck Felgrand monster, the new dragon, is a huge problem card. I actually thought that card was like whatever, it's not that good versus Kozmo, until I actually got hit by it. It's actually interesting. The card's good, and when that Felgrand becomes 3600, Cosmos have always had problems fighting big monsters, and when they can protect the Felgrand with Return of the Dragon Lords, you're gonna lose the game, because when that Felgrand swings over a Dark Destroyer, they're just gonna special summon another dragon from the graveyard. This is an out to Felgrand, legitimately. To anything big, anything too big for the deck to out, this is an out to. Divine Dragon Felgrand, yeah, you always, it might just come up. This is also a way to out Felgrand, and it's just generically good versus everything. Lancelot is a game winner, especially with special schedule. I can actually just bring back a Dark Destroyer and just overlay. I've done that. I did that actually not too long ago. Card's legit. Artifact Durandal. Breaksword helped me out in Pure Iron Wall today. I was a little surprised that this player was still playing it, siding it against Kozmo actually. I guess he was also doing it against Monarch. I don't know, but I just Sword Trooper, brought back Farm Girl. They both attacked. Afterwards, I just overlaid, outed, and the guy just scooped. Here's what is it called? Grand Pulse, like just whatever, and Tiras, just until I get some more. And yeah, Barbaroid. This is like your extra decks are very irrelevant. Only like 5 cards even matter. Now the side deck is the #1 reason why this deck has been winning. I am so happy by setting up my side deck the way I did. And I have to thank a lot of my upperclassmen in OCG that actually, I learned a lot from the OCG players. And they run this card. I'm running this at 3. This card in this current format is amazing. Amazing card. Amazing card. Blue Eyes cannot out this. Like unless they run unorthodox cards. Pendulums can't out this anymore because they're like the Karen dot deck. Like when you just summon this, they just can't really pendulum summon, can't really go off. And I'm running it in combination with this. Now there's a reason why there's a lot of tribute targets, like 1 tribute targets in my deck, because this is very flexible. Whenever I come across a floodgate deck in general, I'm running this. The Slip Riders become this, and Slip Riders become outs to random demise deck garbage. Like this card is just amazing, legit. This card, honestly, in the side, is just helping me win games. Versus the Blue Eyes deck, I just auto win. They can develop the big monsters they want, all they want. But this deck is just like with this, I just like, not many people probably saw this coming, that Cosmos can run it. But yeah, you can run it. I even summoned it a really awkward way today. Floated into a straw man, paid 500 life points, summoned a tin can. I banished straw man to summon a big ship, and then I just tributed to summon this, and I just swung at him. And my opponent's face was, he was in shock that He was not expecting this card. This card also helped me win versus the Blue Eyes matchup on Thursday. Quite a few people in our local started playing Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is very good versus decks with a lot of back row in general. This card is, I'm definitely moving this up to 3 or something. 2 Psycho Reader. You can move this up to 3 depending on your locals or how many Blue Eyes players there are, etc., etc. You know, you actually need this card to win versus Blue Eyes. Honest to God, I'm starting to just think. 2 Veilers. This card has just become very important. It's another card to beat Monarchs. It's just, you know, I just need something faster when they go first. So this is amazing card. But the side deck is always preference, so whatever. You can just run whatever you want. 3 Twin Twisters. This is for random back row decks, etc. So I'm just hiding it. The #1 key card. I am so thankful to this card in Vanity's Fiend. They've been helping me win every game. This card going the coming format, if Monarchs get hit, even if you're playing Monarchs, this is Graceful Charity. This is literally Graceful Charity. They cannot Curaz away their back row to plus off it. Pendulums, they just lose to this card. I've just won every time. If I play against Floodgate decks, this is gonna help me win the game too. If my opponent has like 5 things face up, I'm drawing 5 cards. Like, this card is insane. This card is so insane. If you're running it, I don't know, you're doing something wrong. Like, literally, I guarantee you, all the top players are running this already. Honorable mentions, Galaxy Cyclone. If you're having too much a problem with back row decks or your locals or whatever, you're getting floodgated out or whatever. Because people are starting to run a lot of Mirror Forces and stuff like that. So, yeah. 2 Mystical Ref Panel. I'm going to try to find a way to run this if I start playing a lot of just basically pure Blue Eyes and Monarch players, like, or something. This card, nobody's going to see this shit coming. Card's legit, honestly. Probably just, like, leave one of my side deck as a way to deal with Blue Eyes. Because a broken Pot of Greed is not okay. Resolving, like, multiple Pot of Greeds in one turn is not okay. With Pot of Desires, this card is going to be lit. As more and more people get that card, this card is actually going to be lit going game 2 and 3. So, the 3rd Cycle Reader, like I said. Yeah. But yeah, thanks, guys. Lately, every Kozmo deck profile has disappointed me. And the Kozmo group has, like, slowly deteriorated. I think a lot of players have realized that Kozmos they were kind of just propped up all along. I don't know why people thought they were just the best deck constantly. From the price hikes to whatever, the deck is counterable, and the deck actually loses to itself more often than it loses to anything else. And yeah, I wanted to play something different, and I tried to make this deck work, and actually it paid off. I'm very happy. I went undefeated in 2 of the most crazy locals in my area. But yeah, thanks a lot, you guys, and hopefully you guys like this pure version. I like the pure version a lot better. It's a lot more consistent, has a lot more power, and yeah, hopefully you guys like my deck profile, and this is Shuji, signing out.
Peace.